My name is Sophia McKinnon. My husband has worked hard as the CEO of our company for many years. And now, at the age of 66, he has stepped down from the CEO. To celebrate his retirement, I took him to the upscale restaurant where we had our first date. "This place hasn't changed a bit," he said, looking around at the familiar interior and reminiscing about the past. "Now you're gonna be the CEO. I'm counting on you to do a good job." "Yes, leave it to me. I'll make sure our son is ready to take over by the time I retire. I'll be supporting the company from behind the scenes as chairman." "Thank you, I appreciate it," I responded. We clinked our wine glasses together. From this day forward, I, previously the vice president, would become the CEO. Up until now, I had always had to defer to my husband since he was the CEO, but now I could run the company more freely. However, at 56, I am not as young as I used to be and I can't push myself too hard. Considering my husband's age, I want to enjoy the rest of our lives together. I want to travel, preferably abroad. Even as president, I should be able to take some time off, so let's go," I said while cutting into my thick steak. But what my husband said next was something I hadn't expected. "I've got a mistress." "Oh, a mistress, huh? I can't stand the thought of spending my life with an old hag like you." "What?" "I'll give you money, as much as you want." "Huh?" "So, sign the divorce papers," he insisted, producing the papers. "What do you mean by this?" "There's no what do you mean. I'm telling you, I have a mistress. I'm sorry, but I can't joke about staying with an old wrinkled hag like you forever." "After all these years together, you're saying you want a divorce?" "Yes, exactly." I stopped cutting my steak and looked at him. He seemed serious. I sighed softly. A celebration of his retirement, yet here it was turning into a celebration of our divorce, who would have thought? "I see. But since we're here to celebrate your retirement, let's discuss this after dinner." You're right," he agreed reluctantly. He wanted me to sign the divorce papers immediately, but I thought it would ruin my last meal, so I decided to enjoy it. Yet, how could I enjoy it after such news? "Hey, do you remember what you said to me in this restaurant?" "I don't remember that kind of stuff." "You said you'd cherish me forever. So, forever has come to this, huh?" "People's feelings change." "You used to be kinder back then." "People really do change, don't they?" "I've worked hard every day since we got married. From now on, I'm gonna do as I please." "That's fine by me. If that's what you want, I won't say no." "By the way, what's this mistress like?" "What do you mean, what's she like?" "How old is she?" "She's 24. "Wow, quite young, isn't she?" "Yeah, she's young and her skin is so fresh. It's been decades since I've seen such youthful skin." "Where is she from?" "She's a new employee at our company." "At our company?" As I wondered who it could be, my husband proudly informed me. "It's Mia, assigned to the HR department." Ah, HR. She would certainly be considered beautiful. But honestly, I don't have a good impression of her. She seems like the type who has something to hide. Why her? It just happened. I bumped into her in the hallway and she greeted me first. After that, we started seeing each other more often. As we talked about this and that, it led to us going out for dinner. Once we went out, I saw how attentive and kind she was. She's especially considerate towards the elderly and small children. Is that so? Not many women like her around. That's why I asked her to be with me. Wow. You, at 66, with such a young woman? Yeah, I didn't think she'd actually say yes, so it was half a joke. But it turns out she has a thing for older men. She likes men who are much older, like a father figure, and has been in relationships with such men before. Is that so? So, it's not strange at all. Not strange, huh? Plus, I'll continue to get paid as chairman of the company. So, she won't lack anything. Even in the future. Yeah, of course. Didn't I just tell you? Even though I'm stepping down as CEO, I'll still support the company as its chairman. That means I'll keep getting a chairman's salary. So, she won't need to work and she'll want for nothing. So, you expect her to take care of you eventually? Well, that day will come, given our age difference. But I hope it won't be anytime soon. I'm planning to live a long life now. I couldn't think of living long with just you, but with her, I feel like I need to stick around. It seems my husband is totally smitten with her. After we divorce, I plan to marry her right away. After all, I'm 66. I can't keep enjoying romance forever. I want to live the rest of my life as her husband. As her husband, huh? Why don't you find someone new, too? Love is wonderful. It makes life seem fresh. There are so many things that surprise you, even the green of the trees looks different. Is that so? Well, maybe you wouldn't understand. You're such a bore. My husband said this cheerfully, but listening to him, it was clear this marriage was all about the money for him. As our last meal as a couple came to an end, he spread the divorce papers again on the table and placed a pen on it. I've heard that divorcing is harder than getting married, but it seems quite simple, doesn't it? I murmured this as I wrote my name. Divorcing when you're young must be hard, because of the unbreakable connections you have. But we've been married so long that those unbreakable threads have thinned. This makes the emotional attachment to the marriage fade. Divorcing shouldn't be a big problem then. My husband said, presumptuously. If I said no to the divorce, things could get messy, or it might even lead to a fight. He seems convinced that won't happen. Indeed, the last thing I want is a public spat. It's undignified for a couple our age to be hurling insults at each other. If we're going to split, it's better to do it cleanly and smartly. As for the alimony, I'll give you as much as you want. I'm the chairman, after all. I don't mind giving away all my current wealth as a token of my appreciation for agreeing to the divorce. He seems to think he'll still have a salary coming in as chairman after the divorce. After all the hard work I've put in, it's only natural I become the chairman. Is that so? Well, I'll take our current home and your savings then. Is that all you want? Yes, the company isn't just mine or yours anymore. It's beyond that level. True, it's like a single personality that is the corporation itself. That's right. But you do realize you'll be penniless once you hand over the savings to me. Are you okay with that? Penniless? You're joking. I have the leisure facility, after all. I won't be penniless. Yes, you do care a lot about that leisure facility up on the mountain, I said with a smile. From that day on, my husband didn't return home. It seems he went to be with that woman. Not that I feel lonely. I'm just relieved it's all over. And the next day, the new HR employee, Mia, visited the president's office. Ma'am, she addressed me while entering the president's office. It felt like the words of a victor. This is the CEO's office. It's inappropriate to call me ma'am here. Oh, right. I forgot, you've divorced him. That's right. Thank you. For what? For divorcing him. I didn't think it would be so easy. I thought you might make a fuss, but it seems it was quite straightforward. There was no need to make a fuss. Indeed, there must be something to be said for all those years you were married. Yes. And what brings you here? I just wanted to let you know, I've already submitted the divorce papers yesterday. Is that so? And about the marriage registration, it'll take about 2 weeks to be processed, so we plan to file it as soon as it's accepted. That's good for you, then. Yes. This way, Sebastian and I can officially become husband and wife. You seem happy about it. Of course. Now I'll be the chairman's wife. That's even higher up than the CEO. That's true. Once you're married, I'd like to celebrate. Let's have dinner together. Oh, you want to celebrate with me? Yes, I'll be counting on Sebastian from now on, so I definitely want to properly celebrate. Wow, that's very nice of you. Not feeling bitter about your husband being taken away? Not at all. That's why, could you let me know once your marriage is officially recognized? Yes, I look forward to that moment. Mia said this and then left the CEO's office. A month later, Mia, having resigned because of her marriage, contacted me to say she was married. Congratulations. I'll book a high-end restaurant, so could you come alone? Just me? Yes, it would be nice to have a celebration just among women, wouldn't it? With that, I truly made a reservation at a luxury restaurant and waited for Mia. Mia appeared in front of me, as if armored in designer brands from head to toe. It was as though she wanted to say she was superior to me, but the phrase "clothes don't make the man" seemed apt. Welcome. I'm glad you could make it. Thank you for having me. What is Sebastian up to? He said he wanted to start a vegetable garden, so he's been enjoying setting up a little garden on the balcony. Oh, I had no idea he had such a hobby. Mia sat down without hiding her large belly and caressed it. Oh, you're pregnant? Yes, he's very pleased about it. Really, at his age, huh? Age doesn't matter for men. They can still father children. I wouldn't know about that. I'm sure a healthy child will be born. If you're pregnant, maybe juice would be better than wine, right? Yes, please. I ordered juice for the arrogant Mia. But her attitude only seemed comical to me because I didn't feel defeated by her in any way. As the lavish dishes were served and placed before Mia, she awkwardly manipulated her knife and fork, creating a clinking sound. Silly woman. Now you can eat like this every day, can't you? I'm the real Cinderella now. Why's that? Because my husband is the chairman. If you're the chairman, this kind of meal is an everyday thing, right? It's only natural. Is it, though? As CEO, you can't have this kind of meal every day. But as chairman, it's only natural. Well then, you should at least master how to use a knife and fork. Oh, right. There's something I forgot to mention. You forgot something? Yes. Sebastian has quite a bit of debt. What? Since he was the CEO of a major corporation, the amount of his debt is not small. It's going to be tough from here on. Debt? It's okay. After all, he's the chairman. Debt shouldn't be a big deal. Is that so? I hope you're right. What do you mean? He's adopted into the family. Adopted? So what? That's ancient history, isn't it? Well, it was about a month ago, so ancient history indeed. What? What does that even mean? You really haven't heard? He was born into a poor family and obtained his current lifestyle by marrying me. So, you're saying his current lifestyle isn't really his own? I wonder about that. Why are you being so cryptic? What is going on? Because he owns nothing. What do you mean, owns nothing? He's supposed to be wealthy. He was wealthy before we divorced. Now, he has nothing. Why? What about the resort properties? They've all been sold off and don't generate any income. At best, maybe the maintenance fees, but those have to be used for maintenance. So, really, there's nothing. What about the huge leisure facility on the mountain? Have you ever been to that amusement park? It's all outdated equipment, and there's nothing there that would make guests happy. As a result, we've had virtually no visitors in the last few years. Still, we have to hire staff, and all we have is money going out with no profits coming in. It was more a hobby for him than anything. As a company, we would have liked to shut it down, but the former CEO, Sebastian, didn't want to. So, reluctantly, we left it as is. Now that we're divorced, that's his property. It's in his name. If you want to make a profit from it, you'll need to invest hundreds of millions. But, he owns a condo by the beach, right? That's rented out, isn't it? That's not a rental. It's completely sold out. What about the hospital and the elder care facility? Oh, that's making a decent profit. That's his, right? No, that's mine. Right, there's also the talent agency. That's his, right? That belongs to the company. No way. So he really owns nothing? That's what I've been saying. Oh no! Sebastian really had no business acumen. He ran the company on dreams alone. It was the rest of the management team, minus Sebastian, that barely kept things together. He was CEO in name only. But he was the CEO, so he must have a lot of savings, right? Like in Swiss banks or something. Swiss banks? No way. He never trusted overseas institutions. He used to say that if he put his money there, it would just be exploited. Plus, all the money he had in Japanese banks, he gave to me as alimony when we divorced. He really didn't think about the future, such a generous man. No way! And he thinks he's still going to have a salary coming in, but that's not the case. Why not? He's the chairman, he should receive a salary. That was only if he stayed married to me. Now that we're divorced, he's also been removed from the chairman position. He was adopted into the family, after all. Unemployed? Yes. He's basically what you'd call a mooch now. No way! I thought he was the chairman, to have nothing. There's one more thing you should know since you've realized he has no money. What now? His mother, she's in a very high-end assisted living facility. The monthly costs are enormous, and now it's going to be up to you and him to handle those expenses. You've got to be kidding! And there's more. More? He has diabetes. Diabetes? Isn't that something old people get? Young people can get it too. But in his case, it's a combination of his age and lifestyle. If he had properly managed his medication, diet, and exercise, it wouldn't have gotten so bad. But he was convinced it wouldn't get worse. Recently, he's been complaining about frequent cramps in his legs. Now that you mention it, he did say something like that. Right. He also has pain in his legs, and if it continues like this, amputation might be necessary. No way! It's going to be tough, If that happens, he'll need a wheelchair. Prosthetics cost a lot of money. Apparently, people get quite irritable when they can't move around. You'll have to take care of him too. But you're young, so you'll manage, right? That's ridiculous. Really though. I was dreading the thought of having to take care of him in the future. It's troublesome and problematic. That's why I was thinking of putting him in the same elderly home as his mother. But now, I don't have to worry about that anymore. What a relief. What are you saying? Because you'll be taking care of him. I'm not involved anymore. Really, thank you. You're like an angel. That's just... Oh, right. There's something I want you to give to him. I pulled out a large envelope and placed it in front of her. It was marked personal. What's this? Ah, that's a secret. It's something that will make him cry tears of joy when he sees it, but it's for his eyes only, so don't peek. What is it? You'll find out soon enough. After we had our coffee, I sipped mine leisurely. But Mia sitting across from me. A few days later, Sebastian stormed into the company. Despite his secretary trying to stop him, he barged into the CEO's office. I waved the secretary off with a laugh. It's okay. I pretty much know what it's about. The secretary bowed and left the room, but Sebastian was visibly furious. You've caused Mia and me to fight. How could you lie so much? Oh, I haven't lied about anything. Everything I said was true. What part of it is true? Well, all the assets you have don't make any money. On the contrary, they're just a mountain of debt, right? I was just informing her about that. It's not a lie. How can you say that? That leisure facility in the mountains makes plenty of money. The amusement park in the mountains? Yes, exactly that. Have you actually visited that amusement park? Who would visit such a rundown place? What do you think would happen if someone rode that roller coaster there? It's practically a one-way ticket to heaven. The thrill rides are all on their last legs. The other attractions make strange noises every time they operate due to rust. The staff does maintain them, but there are so few of them, and weeds are growing everywhere. Do you really think someone would want to play there? We just need to invest in and renew the attractions. Sure, that's true. But that would cost millions of dollars. Do you have that kind of money? Maybe you could have managed something with your authority before, but now, there's nothing you can do about that leisure facility. Whether to close it or demolish it, it's going to cost money. Just leaving it be will continue to rack up taxes. I was just being nice by letting you know. Isn't that kind of me? You didn't have to confront her with such reality just after getting married. What would happen if I didn't say anything? Eventually, you won't be able to do anything, and you just have to throw up your hands. But what about her? As your wife, she would have to take on all of that, wouldn't she? Wouldn't that be pitiful? But at least for 3 years or so. Those 3 years are just the honeymoon phase you want to enjoy, right? That's just your ego. I would have handled it somehow. Even without saying such things, I would have managed. How? Without any money, how could you possibly manage? You're married now, you can't just keep quiet about it. Because of you, she's accusing me of deceiving her. It's a case of the pot calling the kettle black, a match made in heaven. Isn't that just perfect? What do you mean? Oh, haven't you seen the personal document? The personal document? I gave it to her to give to you. Oh, yeah, there was something like that, but she was yelling so much, I had trouble with that. So, you haven't looked at it. You really should check. It might have changed her anger a bit. What do you mean? How about I show you a copy I have here? I handed Sebastian the envelope, and as he looked inside, his eyes widened. Of course, they would. Inside were numerous photos of Mia's infidelity at a hotel, including information about the real father of the child she's pregnant with. She's a real developer, huh? I can't believe she was involved with such a young man. Got her coming right out of the hotel. That's ridiculous. She said she didn't like younger men. Maybe that was the lie? It seems the baby isn't yours, but another man's. That can't be right. If it were another man's child, she would marry him. That's easy. She set a trap because you were the CEO, and she thought you would become chairman. If she told you that, you would seem like a wonderful wallet to secure. Whether it's another man's child or not doesn't matter to her. She said it was my child. If she says it's your child, then she gets you. It wasn't my child? No, it wasn't your child. No, that can't be, you're just saying that. I haven't heard it from her. Believe what you want. Saying that, I clicked on a file on the computer. It contained an audio file sent by a detective. As soon as I clicked it, Mia's voice could be heard. Why did I marry such an old man? That's easy. Because he's rich. My ideal is someone rich, but who would pass away a few years after we got married. Just perfect, right? He was stepping down as CEO to become chairman. Plus, he's 66. He has money. His life won't be long. It's perfect. And on top of that, he would be the father of the child in my stomach. What a fool he is. I stopped the recording there, but it seemed to be a conversation with her affair partner. No way, this can't be. Sebastian was shocked, but muttered it was a lie as he left the office. The next day, I received a call from Sebastian. She's gone, he said lifelessly. Oh, why is that? When I got home yesterday, I confronted her about the child. Then she became defiant. Moreover, she said if I had money she might apologize, but she's not going to stick around with a broke old man who lies about being chairman. She's quite straightforward, isn't she? Well, it was clear from the start she was after your money. I can't afford the care home where my mom is, she said it's impossible. Well, that's true. I don't understand why she thinks I can't be chairman. I told her I would be, but she doesn't believe it at all. Oh, you won't be chairman. Didn't you know? You were dismissed. I sent the dismissal notice a while ago. I didn't know. You missed that too? Why would I be dismissed? Because you divorced. You only became CEO through marriage, and that meant you could have been chairman. But since you're divorced, there's no way you could be. It was all true then. That's right. I was called a liar. When I called Mia a liar, she said my lies ruin people's lives and are the worst kind, whereas her lies are harmless in comparison. I got so angry with her self-righteous attitude that it turned into a huge fight. We'd been arguing every day, but yesterday's fight couldn't be resolved. When I woke up this morning, she was gone. I've looked everywhere. I don't know what to do now. What do you think I should do? I don't know. It's just desserts, isn't it? I still have to take care of my mother in that expensive nursing home. There's no way I can afford it. That's right. Hey, can you give me back the alimony I paid you? Huh? You must be joking. You betrayed me as the president. There's no way I'm returning the alimony, especially since you said I could have as much as I wanted. I never thought it would come to this. So, let's start over. If you won't return the alimony, we should just get back together. Then maybe I can return as chairman, right? No. I don't want to take care of you. I thought I was lucky because Mia said she would handle it. I don't need anyone to take care of me. Your diabetes is getting worse, you know? Don't you see? What? If things continue like this, you'll end up having to amputate your leg. I absolutely do not want to deal with you in a wheelchair. So, thank you for cheating, and I wish you happiness. Wait, please, let's start over. Sophia, please, don't abandon me. After that, Sebastian, whose plan to have his mistress Mia take care of him in old age failed, kept asking me to start over. Of course, I firmly refused. Then, he could no longer afford the nursing home fees for his mother-in-law, and she ended up moving in with him. As a result, he had to start working, turning his expected peaceful retirement into a living hell. Despite trying to find a job, no one would hire him, a former president writhing in desperation, mistakenly believing he could do any job. But the world isn't so kind. At 66 years old and having been a CEO, he was paradoxically avoided more. The only job he finally found was as a night shift worker at a convenience store. However, frequent calls from his mother-in-law about being hungry or needing the toilet disrupted his work so much that he would shout, leading to neighbors calling the police. Eventually, he couldn't even keep that job and now lives on a very meager welfare support. As for me, having become CEO, I managed to sell unnecessary facilities and clear the company's debts, allowing the company to undergo a rebirth. Perhaps the employees were very unhappy with Sebastian's way of management because they now look much brighter. Thinking about the company's potential for further growth makes every day exciting for me.